Hey, Happy New Year coming up. Merry Christmas. What else do we have? This is my Twitter. Happy Kwanzaa, right? That was yesterday. And we are LIVE live. How are we all doing? On a Tuesday, I took Tuesday off today from my full-time job. Just had lunch with the parents. God, of course I got this itch near my nose as we're about to do this. It's going to be Week 16 lineup review. I want to endorse Fantasy Alarm, guys. Now, they didn't ask me to do this. I'm doing this on my own. I've tried so many paid... I don't need to scam education. I've tried so many paid sites, and I think they're all great. I think that all of us can do some of that same work to find some of the plays. But I don't know. These guys are pretty damn good. And I'm going to show you what I did here. Well, let's review my lineup. I had a great week. I thought about playing more money. I had a good feeling about this slate because I thought they were... there's no doubt about it right now. Whoever plays the Vikings, and I've been doing this for weeks, at quarterback, it doesn't matter who it is. I didn't care. It was Daniel Jones. Everyone... Mac Jones threw for 382 yards, right, against them? So I had, and you, as you can see, look at my lineup. I did a tiers, just that that's the only like non-classic lineup I did. I mean, I smashed everywhere. I mean, look at all of my, some of my GPPs didn't do well, but I had a 162. I played in smaller GPPs, and I'm telling you, I know it's hard for people to do this, right? But play in smaller contests. You can play high, like this is contest with 237. I finished 25th. But here's the difference. The winning lineup was 194. A winning lineup in those big contests are going to be, and look at this guy, 15. I don't know how many lineups he had. You could do a max of 7, but I know what these sites can trick people by putting that flashing that money. You can win 500,000 if you finish at the top. You're not going to do that, and I for a long time, you start getting suckered in. One thing you need to do if you're doing DFS, you need to get these extensions, the Roto Grinders extensions. See, you probably don't see this on this. So this tells you what percentage cash is an overlay percentage. So when I'm playing a contest, like even the Millionaire, look at the Millionaire. Why is it not saying? See, why is it not saying? It will tell you the percentage that will cash. So I was playing a lot of these 3 max contests. This one. So 26% cashes. That's a pretty good number. So you want to look at stuff like that is 25. That means 25% of the entries. But still, 17,000 entries. And you'd have to finish here to get $2. I finished 25th out of 237. That's more probable to happen. And I do that with my 50-50s. I play 10 people. Because this eliminates duplicate lineups. Have you guys noticed in the 100-man 50-50s, you'll see 25. I was playing 100-man 50-50s on FanDuel, and I was literally seeing, I think I saw 30 duplicate lineups. Now, again, you can look at it two ways. Well, that could help, right? Because you could have 30 people that are using the same lineup that sucks. Usually they're not. So look at this 50-50. Every lineup is unique. And 145 is a cash line. That's a reasonable score. But I really would do that. I know it's hard to do. The largest tournaments I played in were these free ones. But everything else, my GPPs, I played in small GP. I played one big one. This might have been the big one. No, 3.6. That's as big as I got. And I cashed 50 cents with it getting a 0. And I like this lineup. Mahomes, McKinnon, Kelsey. I ran it back with good when I thought it would work out. The field did too. This is a nice correlated lineup that I had. Doing the Philly-Dallas game, which I'm sure I would assume the Philly-Dallas. See, now look at the score. This is a GPP with 3,600 people is not a lot. The winning score was 225.90. The 237, the winning score was 194. This is a ballsy lineup. Darnold, Moore, Lamb and Smith, very well coordinated. Hawkinson and Barkley, a secondary stack. This is great. That's what you want to do. So you want to, and he went with a skinny single, and I think you can. There's a double stacks, meaning I think you can get away with a single on a smaller tournament. When you're getting like 10,000, you want to go Darnold, Moore, someone else, and then a run back. So stack your quarterback with 2 pass catchers, run it back with 1, and then do secondary stacks. Now this person did a single stack. They didn't run it back with anybody. They had a secondary stack of Barkley and Hawkinson and a third game stack of Smith and Lamb. They played the Patriots on their own, which I did, Dotson on their own, and McKinnon on their own. So the reason you do that is obviously if you thought Sam Darnold was going to be great, then you would want to have people attached to him. And same thing. Oh, I think Barkley's going to have a good game, and someone on the opposite side would. All right? So it helps you make less decisions. You 3, 6, picking 9 things can be hard, but if you pick 3, right? You pick 3 games and spread that with 6, 7 players, and then just do one-offs of the other. All right? I know I go over this a lot, but I do want to focus in on it. So game selection, these are things I never wanted to hear, but back to Fantasy Alarm. Their playbook, the articles here are incredible. I had a lineup at, let's go to the Saturday. I'm going to show you. It was like 12-ish, okay? My cash game lineup. And I think I posted it too. We're going to review my lineup. Let me see if I can find it in Discord. I posted, oh yeah, I know how to find it. You can search, right? Okay, so, let me see if I can find, this won't take that long. Bear with me. Okay, so I had it, my cash lineup I submitted here in the morning. And then I was feeling a little weird about it. Can't you just search your name? Right? Or do I forget what my, This is just vividing, isn't it? Watching, riveting, I should say. Here I am, Radio Mike. All right, I wanted to fit Henry, C-Mac, and McKinnon in my cash games. I thought I put the actual cash game. Okay, I guess it looks like I didn't. Shows what memory I have. So, my original lineup from memory, I punted on tight end with Atkins. I put Shaheed, that New Orleans guy, in my lineup. I think I had paid up a little on defense, but I had Henry, C-Mac, and Cook in my lineup. I said, I'm going to stuff, and this was a theory to do, stuff 3 running backs in your lineup because they're going to get the most touches. I had Henry, McKinnon, and Cook. No, I think regardless of what I had, I got cold feet. And I said, I'm going to read this article again. So I read this article. You have to pay to have this. All right. So I'm showing you now because it's after the slate. I think I put Dobbins in, it actually didn't work, but I read the article. Look at this, the stuff that they put in here. But here's what I was feeling, guys. I just wasn't feeling good about my lineup. All right. And I said, I don't want to punt a tight end. And even in cash games, that's kind of been the theory this year because tight end has sucked, right? But I'm like, I don't want to play Jordan Akins. I just don't. I don't want to pay these guys. These guys are GPP. And I didn't want to go with Bellinger of the Giants. And I didn't, I know he was back. And I read this. Pretty obvious play concerning the Giants rank dead last in DVOA against a tight end. 10th most points. If you're stacking the Giants, you can have Hawkins coming back, or you could even do a game stack if you'd like multiplayer. Has a strong target share since arriving. We don't see that stopping this week. And I'm like, you know what? 4,900. All right. Now, what clouds our judgment with this position, with someone like this, is because of this. Right? 5,500 for Mark Andrews. Even 8,000 for Travis Kelce. Look at where these guys are priced. DJ Moore is priced where Andrews is. I mean, Slayton's only 300 less than Andrews. You have Hawkinson 1,400 cheaper than Brandon Ayuk. Look how much cheaper than Metcalf. He's a different kind of guy. So I said to myself, I want him in my lineup. And you know what I've been doing in cash games? I've been breaking some rules because what was going on with me before I started, since I joined Fantasy Alarm and I was reading these articles, I was struggling. Struggle bus. And I said, you know what? I'm going to do some more skinny stacks. So I'll show you my lineup. And I'll show you my staples. I locked in Daniel Jones last Monday. This was as easy as pie. All right? And where I got burnt last week in my cash games was I did not have more of, I can't remember what game it was. There was the Dallas game. Who did they play? Whoever they played, those were two. They weren't playing a great defense. This was a lock. McKinnon was a lock. All right? I figured, hey, who cares? So Jones, McKinnon, Metcalf with Lockett. He was a lock. Even at the price, I didn't mind it. And then none of the other ones were locks, but I changed my lineup dramatically at around 12, and I put Hawkinson in. I put James in. I put the Eagles defense in. I put Dobbins in, and I put McCaffrey. I would have got 9 more points out of Henry. I went back between Henry and McCaffrey. So that didn't work. And Henry made sense because they were playing Houston. Like that I shouldn't have debated that because even though they scored 37 points and he did score, but it worked out. There's always this thing too that you don't change your lineup last minute. But here's one thing I've always heard with the business too. Your gut. And my gut said, I can't. If you think Daniel Jones, and I was confident he could have a 300-yard game, the way this defense was playing, you've got to have another piece. You can't go into your cash games this week. That was the easiest game. It was I think the highest over-under. It was like a 26-22 game according to Vegas. They were close. They had, 26-22 Minnesota. I do on my worksheet. I put the Vegas implied totals, and I make a lot of my lineups off of this. I use this Minnesota 27-23. That was the implied total. Was that the final score? 27-24. Wow. Dallas, a high implied total. Kansas City, a high implied total. San Francisco, a high implied total. Cincinnati, 22-19. How about that? Look what that finished. So sometimes we don't use basic common sense, right? If you're going to play, even in cash games, if you're going to play Daniel Jones, and I know sometimes in cash games you don't want to stack just in case, I was confident that they were going to put up some points. So I took the cheapest part. You have to have someone coming back. And I felt like Jefferson was too much. Thielen was too much of a GPP play. And I knew KJ Osborne was not going to have the game. And the fact that the Giants were so bad against that position when we know Cousins is going to throw, I felt so good about that. DJ Moore, 5,500, being the guy. He's really the only game in town. Metcalf, only game in town. Dobbins, that didn't work out. But I was happy about this, and I won a bunch of money, and I was happy. So it was a great week. I'd love to hear from you. Tweet at me right here at the Radio Mike. This is me, okay? Good luck. Subscribe to Fantasy Alarm. I don't have any kind of, I don't have anything. Code. I'll try to get one. Be safe, and hope you had a Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.